I have never been a fan of medical dramas, so when I saw The Pitt had an 8.9 on IMDb, I remember thinking there's no way it's that good. But after watching season 1 in just 2 days, I was wrong. And with season 2 right around the corner, I want to talk about why you should make The Pitt your next priority binge. For this review, I will be avoiding major spoilers, but I will be showing clips from episode 1 and discussing the characters, so minor spoilers may occur. So first off, what is The Pitt? It's HBO's hit new show from early 2025, and it won 5 Emmy Awards, including Best Outstanding Drama Series. But when you read the plot, it sounds like just another ordinary medical drama. But here's the hook. 15 episodes, 15 hours, 1 shift. What does this mean? Each of the 15 episodes in season 1 covers a 1-hour period of a 15-hour ER shift. So, for example, episode 1 starts at 7 a.m. and ends at 8 a.m. And episode 15 ends 15 hours later at 10 p.m. the same day. It's an interesting concept, one that 24 also did in the early 2000s. So to me, this alone is already a compelling reason to watch The Pitt. But I want to talk about 3 even better reasons why you should watch it, starting with its fast pace. Hey TV guy, do you have any TV show recommendations? And don't say Cobra Kai. I wasn't gonna say that. I was gonna say Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul. I tried watching them, but they were too slow. What about Mad Men? It stars John Hamm. He's amazing. That was also too slow. Well, what about a newer show like Andor or Severance? I know they start off slowly, but trust me, just keep watching because too slow. I got it. What about The Wire? It's widely considered one of the top 5 shows of all time. And there are so many great characters. Stringer, Bubbles, way too slow. The most common reason I hear for why people stop watching a new show is it was too slow. Some of arguably the best shows of all time start off slowly or are slow burns in general. Their plots and character development build gradually over time, leading to a more powerful and rewarding payoff later. But some people prefer shows that are fast and exciting, with immediate gratification. And if you like fast-paced shows, then oh boy, The Pitt is the show for you. You only get the first 10 minutes of episode 1 to prepare yourself for what's to come. We meet all the main characters. The team knocks out a couple of quick, low-priority patients. Things are looking good, but then it starts to get pretty intense. Paramedics rushed in with 2 patients in critical condition. One had their foot run over by a train. The other is unconscious after falling and hitting their head. The doctors stabilize them and things die down for a minute. But then another patient suddenly goes into cardiac arrest, so they have to shock them with a defibrillator. Okay, they're breathing again. But now, a bunch of elderly patients from nursing homes are rushed in, and a little boy who's unresponsive. Oh, and that guy we just defibrillated? Now, their blood pressure is rapidly dropping, and the cardiac monitor is making those scary beeping noises. It is just one thing after another, and the remaining 14 episodes of season 1 are just like this. Yes, there is some downtime between patients for character development, but the ER doctors are always jumping from patient to patient, which the show says happens every 3 to 5 minutes in real life. One of the doctors even jokes that everyone working in the ER has ADHD, so working anywhere else would be boring for them. So this is all to say that when you watch The Pitt, you will definitely not be bored. You might even feel stressed. I did, because the show makes you feel like you're right there in the ER with them. Which is why The Pitt reminds me so much of The Bear. You know those stressful dinner scenes where everyone's running around in the kitchen, getting locked in freezers, firing all the chickens?
Fire every single chicken we have, please, okay?
That's what The Pitt feels like every episode. Except the ER staff isn't also cussing each other out the whole time. So to me, it didn't feel quite as stressful as The Bear.
Get the fuck off my expo chef now! Get the fuck off! Thank you!
but The Pitt's extremely fast pace holds your attention and makes episodes fly by, which is how I ended up binging season 1 in just 2 days. But the fast pace wasn't the only reason I was hooked. It was also because The Pitt is the most accurate medical drama of all time. Hey TV Guide, I just heard about this new show called The Pitt. Have you seen it? Yeah, it's really good. I binged it in 2 days. Oh wow. What did you like about it? It's the most accurate medical drama of all time. Really? That's crazy. What does that even mean? I'm not sure. But it sounds nice. And I felt smart telling you that. Shouldn't you at least do a little bit of research before you give people recommendations? Thanks for subscribing, Hans. I gotta go. Remember, comment down below. I don't know who officially declared The Pitt the most accurate medical drama of all time, or what that even means. But when you look at the reviews for this show, it's clear that actual medical professionals agree. A board-certified ER doctor said, "This is the first show, besides Scrubs, that paints an accurate picture of what it's like to work in emergency medicine." A nurse said, "This show is an accurate depiction of what takes place in a very busy urban emergency department." And a board-certified critical care physician said, "It captures the chaotic and emotional reality of a level 1 trauma center with impressive accuracy." There are also tons of YouTube videos of real-life medical professionals reacting to The Pitt. And in the comments of those videos, you'll see the same level of praise. So how does The Pitt manage to feel so real and so authentic? Based on my research, The Pitt did 3 things to achieve this. Like getting a co-executive producer that had 3 decades of experience as an emergency physician, but is also a TV writer. Or hosting nurses' nights, where working nurses were given dinner in exchange for sharing their personal stories. Or even using real nurses and physician assistants as key background characters. But it seems like the biggest reason is they have a bunch of medical consultants. There were 7 real-life residency-trained, board-certified emergency physicians who were involved. Their job was to design the organized chaos that is the emergency department. But The Pitt isn't the first medical drama to use consultants. Other shows have always done this too. The difference is, The Pitt's consultants helped shape the show at every step of production. They reviewed the scripts and were constantly providing feedback, helping to include real-life emergency room scenarios and specific medical terminology and vocabulary. They served as on-set medical advisors, meaning when they shot a scene for the show, the medical consultants were right there with the director and cinematographer. Their job was to explain what the actors and actresses should be doing for each line in the script, where they should stand, who handles what, and how to move and act like a real ER professional would. But making these scenes feel real and authentic wasn't easy. The show's scenes are so fast-paced that actors had to be able to do everything from muscle memory. So to do this, the main cast went through a medical boot camp. They practiced the movements of medical procedures over and over again until they became reflexes. Things like how to put on a cast, place an IV, and intubate. And if you're like me and you didn't know what intubation meant, don't worry, you'll be an expert after season 1. Okay, so everyone agrees The Pitt is the most accurate medical drama of all time. And now we know why. But so what? This sounds nice, but why does it actually matter? If you've seen The Bear, you probably went through a phase where you started saying things like,
Corner.
Yes, chef.
and
Fire every single chicken we have, please. Okay.
personally, I still do this all the time with Mrs. TV Guide. It makes me feel cool, like I'm in an exclusive group that knows what these things mean. But also, it gives me a way to instantly connect with anyone who works in the food service industry. Because thanks to The Bear, I now have at least some idea of what their jobs are actually like. The Bear is a show that pulls back the curtain, giving you a rare look behind those mysterious kitchen doors in a restaurant, answering the universal question, what goes on back there while I'm waiting for my meal? This is one of the reasons why I and so many people love The Bear. And it's also the same reason why it reminds me so much of The Pitt. The Pitt is to hospitals what The Bear is to restaurants. Meaning, The Pitt transports you beyond those frustrating hospital waiting room doors and puts you right in the thick of it for a 15-hour ER shift. It's many people's first time, including mine, seeing what actually goes on behind the scenes at a hospital. And it turns out, no, the doctors are not playing Go Fish back there. They are literally saving lives, one after another after another. In the show, 30 minutes will go by and one doctor will do like 5 things that are more stressful than anything I've ever done in my entire life. Everyone is constantly running around from patient to patient like madmen. No one ever takes a lunch break, and the senior attending physician can't even find time to go to the restroom. And keep in mind, the workers have to do this for 15 hours straight, and then come back and do it all over again the next day. So, like the bear, I think the Pitt will undoubtedly have an impact on society. No, I don't think people are going to start saying medical phrases like breathing sounds good bilaterally, but by the time I was done season 1, I had a new perspective and a new appreciation for hospital workers everywhere. Not only for how hard and stressful their job is, but also all the industry problems they have to deal with too. Budget cuts, treating hospitals as a business, being understaffed, a national nursing shortage, and violence against healthcare workers. The Pitt brings awareness to all of this, which is good. So the next time you find yourself waiting 6 hours in a hospital waiting room, just remember the Pitt. Maybe it will make you more patient and understanding. You might even have a newfound love for Pittsburgh, which is where the show is set. Watching TV shows always gives me a fondness for the cities they were set in. Albuquerque for Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, Baltimore for The Wire, and Chicago for The Bear. I've never been to Pittsburgh, but after watching The Pitt, I kinda wanna go now. The show does a good job at sprinkling in fun facts about the city, like with Mr. Rogers and Freedom House, but also more niche references that only locals would get. So there was a lot that I liked about The Pitt, but I should also discuss some reasons why people might not like it. The first reason being, it's stressful. It's definitely not a relax, turn off your brain, and wind down kind of show. But the biggest reason you might not like it is the character development, or in this case, the lack of it. While The Pitt's 1 hour per episode premise is interesting and unique, it's also a double-edged sword. The natural downside being, there just isn't much time for characters to grow and change. But the show does its best to give each character their own mini arc, and what it lacks in robust individual character development, it makes up for with impactful season-long themes. Like the importance of talking to someone about your feelings, rather than burying them, especially if you feel grief, depression, or you had a traumatic experience. So pretty much all the things you might deal with daily while working in the emergency room, which is exactly what we see in the show. So despite not being a fan of medical dramas, I enjoyed The Pitt and I'm glad I gave it a chance. It isn't just about the patients and the medical cases, it's about the people behind the scrubs and how they cope with the weight of their responsibilities. We see them struggle, we see them break, but we also see their resilience. The resilience to deal with constant high-stress situations on top of whatever personal issues they are already dealing with. It makes you appreciate just how much these medical professionals go through every day. And it does it in a fast-paced, entertaining way that will keep you hooked. This is why you should make The Pitt your next priority binge. Another show I was wrong about was Andor. I made a video about it. Click here to check it out. Hans will be sad if you don't.